What is the future of prepping? Hey everybody, this is Michael with Asymmetrical Preparedness. That's what we're talking about today. But first off, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Please hit the like button, which is that little thumbs up thing. Please share the videos, comment below. Comments are awesome. And I want to thank all my subscribers. Thank you very much. And all my patrons. Yes, patrons are awesome. Got a lot of good stuff over there that is not friendly to this platform. Check it out. It's $1 a month. It's to me, it's no big deal. It's no brainer. It's definitely worth that. The hundreds of videos and everything I talk about over there. But let's get to it. What is the future of prepping? Well, what I see the future of prepping is really self-reliance, when it comes down to it. Because I see some big events maybe on the horizon, and it may not be going to the store or ordering on Amazon, stockpiling food, buying things like that, because they may not be available, or they may be way more expensive than they are now. So the future of prepping really is self-reliance, self-sufficiency, doing things yourself, making do with less, learning how to live without grid power, growing your own food, raising your own animals, doing all those kind of things, learning foraging, how to forage, how to identify wild edibles. What wild edibles do you have around you? Even if you live in a city or suburbia, there's still forested areas, there's still wilderness areas, green belts, whatever, where you live. And there are wild edibles pretty much everywhere. What about roots? Do you know how to identify plants that have edible roots? Berries? Berries are an easy one. That's a good place to start. Around here we got lots of huckleberries, black huckleberries, red huckleberries, salmon berries. We have blackberries everywhere. What else? Oregon grape, salal berries. And the Oregon grape and the salal berries, they're not really that good, but they are edible. As well as some edible ferns, some edible roots. I recommend starting off with the berries, just because I know there are only certain times a year. Berries and roots, though. Roots are always there, so that's a good one. What about hunting? Do you know how to hunt? Do you know where to go to hunt? Depending on the situation, if you're within rule of law or without rule, not in rule of law, where you would hunt. Small game hunt, large game hunt, trapping, snaring, anything like that. Do you know how to do any of those things? Yeah, foraging is a big part of it. Hunting, fishing, but really the best way to go about it, I think, is growing your own food, own vegetables, fruits, and raising your own animals. Like chickens. Chickens are super easy. Chickens, turkeys, those are super easy. Turkeys, they grow bigger, so you get more meat out of each animal. They are also quieter. They're also more docile. You can walk right up to them and grab them to harvest them instead of having chasing. You ever seen people chase chickens around? Yeah, and I get it. You can dispatch them, from a distance with various methods. But do you know how to defeather them? Do you know how to gut them? Do you know how to prepare them? All these kind of things. And do you know how to cook them from scratch? Or do you only know how to cook from a box? All these like back to basic type things are the future of preparedness, I think. The future of prepping. Do you know how to cut down a tree with a handsaw, with an axe, with a chainsaw? Whatever method you have. Do you know how to properly cut down a tree safely? Do you know how to, cut it up, process it for firewood? Like that stuff right there. Yeah, it's not difficult, but do you know how to do it? Have you ever done it? Cooking over a campfire. Cooking with cast iron. Cooking from scratch, period. Do you know how to grind your own flour? Your own cornmeal? Do you know how to collect the seeds from your crop for the oncoming season? For next season? Do you know all the parts of an animal you can use for what things? What about the bones? What can you use them for? There's a lot to self-sufficiency. A lot of the bushcraft knowledge is very important also. How to build a shelter out in the woods with what you have. You may have a tarp, but you may just have a bunch of cordage. Yeah, what about campsite location and selection? And looking out for the water runoff, looking out for floodplains, looking out for wetlands, looking out for all these kind of things. How to locate water. That's another big one. How to locate water. Where is water around you? What is your situational awareness like for your AO, your area of operations, where you live? Do you know where the sources of water are? Do you know where all the green belts are for foraging? Do you know all the routes in and out of your area to more rural, possibly safer areas? Bugging out, bug out plans, mutual assistance groups. Yeah, like I always say, there's a lot to it. But self-sufficiency is the future of prepping. One thing to think about is if we're in a long-term event, that's, I don't know how likely that is, but it is something to think about. Long-term event. Okay, well, clothing factories are not going to be open anymore, right? So do you know how to sew? Do you know how to darn? Do you know how to knit? Do you know how to do all these things? What about, knitting clothing from sheep's wool, from Angora rabbits? What sources of fibers are there out there? What about natural fibers? What about hides? Do you know how to tan a hide? Do you know how to prepare and tan a hide? I have done, when I was in the service, I had a buddy that was born and raised in Montana. Long time deer, elk, hunter, and all that stuff like that. I had never done it before. I'd never elk hunted, so he took me elk hunting. We actually didn't get anything the couple times we went, but it was also a black powder season. But what he did teach me how to do was the deer we got, how to brain tan. I did only do it once though, so I'm not saying I'm an expert at it. Please don't ask me questions about how to brain tan. I have the basic idea and I understand the basics behind it. I have done it once, but it's something that, it's one of those things you don't get an opportunity to do very often unless you're like a hunter every single year and stuff like that, and you have use of hides and stuff. But if you think about it, long term, you may end up having to make clothing out of hides, even no matter how much clothing you have stockpiled and stuff like that. It's going to wear out. But that's an extreme case situation. But it's something to think about. Also, you guys know I show, all the gardening stuff all the time, all around me. And as you can see, like right here, look at how well the onions are doing, by the way. Yeah. And then over here, potatoes coming up really well. Yeah. Peas. Oh yeah. I love the gardening part. It's very, very rewarding and relaxing for me to get out in the garden and to watch everything grow. It's rewarding. It's really cool. But really, I think the future of prepping and preparedness isn't, going online and buying the fancy Gucci gear and being cool and, all the fancy stuff. The days of Amazon preppers and online preppers and or Walmart preppers, whatever, Costco preppers, Kroger preppers, Sam's Club preppers, whatever. I have a feeling those days are limited because those resources may not be around for much longer. I don't know. I mean, I don't know everything. I'm just kind of talking out my butt, if you'd say. It's just, it's a thought. I just don't see, well, I guess I just see a lot of trouble on the horizon. I see a lot of stuff as potential for getting worse. So I want you guys to be prepared for that. And the best preparedness for it is to be self-sufficient, self-reliant, homestead type things. And as you can see around me, it's not necessarily pretty. I try to make it look decent, but like this whole mess out here, all the cardboard out there with the poles laying on it to, kill the grass so we can put, dig all that up, put some soil in there and add that whole as a planting area. Right here, buckets everywhere, planters everywhere, wheelbarrows. It's just, it is what it is. It's what you end up with when you're on a homestead. And I wouldn't even, I would use that in a very broad term to say this is a homestead, because this isn't what I think of when I think of a homestead. But I guess, small homestead. But anyway, yeah, raising your own animals, and that's a direction we haven't gone yet. We need to. We need to get into chickens and or turkeys. But that is definitely the direction I see preparedness going. So be ready for it and have as many of these things in place as possible right now. So my question to you is, how ready are you for the shift in what it means to be prepared, in prepping, preparedness, all this kind of stuff? And maybe it doesn't go that direction. Maybe it'll be fine. Maybe all those resources will still be available to us for a long time. But I would much rather prepare for them not being here. Also, the self-reliance, self-sufficiency thing, all the stuff I've been talking about, I've been showing, we've been doing the things. Get out and do the things. All that stuff I'm talking about is it is peace of mind, big time. And no matter what, if those resources are available, fine. We're still good doing these things also. But if they're not available, you're ready, you're good to go, right? So why not do that? Why not do the more self-reliance type prepping, homesteading type prepping? I think homesteaders they're basically preppers, just don't talk about it necessarily or call themselves preppers. Yeah, because I mean that's what your chickens, your cows, your goats, your pigs, your turkeys, your whatever it is that you have, your stocked pond. That's food storage. It's just food storage on the hoof, or on the feet, or in the water, whatever it may be. It is food storage, though. It's just living food storage, and that way you don't have to dehydrate it, you don't have to freeze it. You don't have to figure out something to do with it. You have to feed it, take care of it. Yeah, I get it. But, yeah, I don't know. It's all part of it. And as you raise your own crops like we do, can them, dehydrate them, vacuum seal them, bag them, all those kind of things. Bucket them up, whatever, for food storage. But keep stockpiling food also from these sources like I talk about. Amazon, the big box stores, restaurant supply stores, all these kind of things. Because I know I like talking about some of the things that I think, cool things that I talk about over on Patreon channel, link in the description, like I talked about earlier. The cool guy things. Things that are kind of like this type stuff. But I'll tell you what, I know for a fact that I will have to eat. I don't know for a fact that I will have to do that. So make that part of it, definitely. Security is important. You got to be able to protect what you have, where you are, protect your things, protect your family, all that kind of stuff. But I guarantee you'll have to eat. I guarantee you'll have to drink water. So that's why I like going the other direction. But really the emphasis is on the food production, on the food storage, seed production, water storage. Obviously I can't produce water, but collection, storage, stockpiling, all those kind of things. Yeah, definitely do it while you can. Definitely make use of the resources that are available to you. But also be ready when those resources may not be available anymore. That's something to think about. I don't know how many people think about that. I know people do. I know you guys do. I don't know how many other channels talk about that kind of stuff. I know some channels do show, the gardening and raising animals, homesteading parts of it and stuff like that. But some don't. Some are, concentrating on, bugging out. I don't know. Who cares what the other channels are doing? Bugging out is also important, having the ability to bug out, stuff like that. One thing I'll do a little mention is that some people say, I've heard it a lot of times, is that I'm already bugged out. I'm living at my bug out property meaning their homestead, their off-grid homestead, whatever it may be, their mountain cabin, whatever the situation may be. But I'll tell you what, if you're already living there, it's not your bug out location anymore. Because even if you're somehow, for some reason, you're in a situation where you have to leave there, you can't bug out to there anymore because you're already there. So it's no longer a bug out location. You still have to have a bug out location, or 2 or 3 or 4. And routes to them, caches, all this kind of stuff like that. Even if your main idea is to defend, secure, and stay in place, that's fine. That's a great plan. But you still have to have alternate plans of where to go if something forces you off. It may be beyond your control. So think about that. If you're living there, it's not your bug out location. It could be your bug in location, fine. And you can have it secured very well. You can have it, set up very well. Great. I encourage you to do so. But have those emergency plans in place, just like preparedness. This is living insurance, remember? And, we're doing this for peace of mind. So have those plans in place, please. I guess, to wrap it up, I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you guys for all the views, all the, subscribership, all the love. You guys are awesome. And I hope that I'm doing my part. I hope that you feel that I'm doing my part. I always want to be doing my part. I always want to be upping my game. I always want to be doing better and stuff like that. And so look forward to next week. We're going to be doing a live stream. I think it's Wednesday at 2 or 3 Pacific Standard Time. Live stream with TJ of Bear Independent, which would be really cool. Looking forward to that. And then we also, Morgan Rogue Preparedness also would like to do live stream. So we're going to be doing a live stream with her also, either on her channel, this channel, I don't know which. We haven't really talked about the specifics, but look forward to a lot more live streams. And I want to do just a asymmetrical preparedness live stream by myself, so I have a chance to talk with you guys and stuff like that more, on a one-on-one-to-one, one to a bunch of people, type thing. But anyway, look forward to more improvements and stuff to come. I love you guys, and have a wonderful day, and blessings to you and yours.